Hello everyone, I'm Hasiya. In this video, I'm gonna share a biography of a famous British novelist, George Eliot. Her actual name was Mary Ann Evans, who was born on 22nd November 1819 in England. She was died on 22nd December 1880 at England. George Eliot was a pen name which was adopted by her in the year 1856. She was a third child to her parents Robert Evans and Christiana Evans. She is not only a British novelist but also a poet, journalist, and a translator. She belongs to a Victorian age. She loves reading. She was obviously intelligent. As she was not considered physically beautiful, Evans was not thought to have much chance of marriage. So, her father decided to offer her studies for her, which was not often afforded for education to women at the time of Victorians. At the age of 5 to 9, she boarded with her sister Chrissy at Miss Latham's school in Attleborough. From the ages of 9 to 13 at Mrs. Wallington's school in Neonatal. At the age 13 to 16 at Miss Franklin's school in Coventry. After age 16, Evans had little formal education. Thanks to her father's important role on the estate, she was allowed access to the library of Albury Hall, which greatly aided her self-education and breadth of learning. Let's move on to her marital life. The philosopher and a critic George Henry Lewis met Evans and they decided to live together. Lewis was already married, although in an open marriage. She lived with him for 20 years without getting married. Hence, she was rejected by her family and friends. They got married in the year 1877. After the death of George Lewis, she married John Cross, who was younger than her, in the year 1878. Some of her famous works were Life of Jesus. The first English translation was published by George Chapman in the year 1846. Her first poem, Knowing That Shortly Must Put Off This Turbanate, was published in The Christian Observer in the year 1840. She was impressed by Waverley novels of Walter Scott. She always gave realism and psychological insights in her novels. She wrote 7 novels. Adam Bede, the first completed novel, which was published in the year 1859. Queen Victoria was much impressed with Adam Bede and asked the artist to paint scenes from the book. The Mill on the Floss, which was published in the year 1860, her most autobiographical novel. It is dedicated to her husband George Lewis. Silas Marna, published in the year 1861. Romola, which is a historical novel based on an Italian priest of 15th century, published in the year 1863. Next, the social novel Felix Holt the Radical, which was published in the year 1866. Middlemarch, a study of provincial life, which was published in the year 1871. Daniel Deronda, it was the last novel she completed and the only one set in the Victorian society of her day, which was published in the year 1876. Some of her famous poetic works, The Spanish Gypsy and the Agatha, they got published in the same year 1868, Brother and Sister in 1869. Let's see her in life. Although female authors were published under their names during their lifetime, she wanted to escape from the stereotype of women's writing being limited. In 1880, she died of kidney disease. After a wedding trip in Italy, they returned to her country at Chelsea. She was 61 years old. She was buried at Highgate Cemetery in London next to George Lewis. In the same year, her husband John Cross also died. Thank you for watching.